moment thing has been remarkable. I can't count the number of times I've asked the question over the last 2 months, is he the best player in basketball? And you know what it all adds up to me? I'm looking right at you, Zach. The best player in basketball is LeBron James. Because all these years that he's been making his runs to the finals, that question never came up. Every year that he's playing, no one ever asks the question, who's the best player, because the answer is always so obvious. I believe that what we're seeing is the vacuum left behind by his absence this year.
I had this conversation with Tim Bontemps on some travels somewhere. One of the most exciting storylines for him for next season is to see LeBron's hearing all this, and I think there's a good chance he comes back next year if he's healthy and that team is a little better and reminds everyone, oh, you thought this was done? Like I'm still the guy. I think that's more in play than a lot of people think it is.
I heard Jay Rose in the show yesterday. Him and Damon Jones are going back and forth about LBJ. And he was like, well, how come LBJ didn't get them to the playoffs? Do you know what kind of turmoil LeBron's been dealing with? I mean, it seems like every day we're talking about off-the-court scenarios for the Lakers other than LeBron James playing. Like, LeBron James is the most gifted player on the planet. Yeah. He's the most gifted player on the planet. I think Kevin Durant's the best scorer on the planet.
I do think part of being the most gifted player on the planet, though, is the idea that when it matters, he can be a top 10 defensive player in the NBA. That, to me, is he, at age 35, coming off his first serious injury, is that still going to be a yes? And if it's not, then I think this is an open discussion.
I agree with you.
No, it is an open discussion, but it's weird because last year he still averaged 28, 8, and 8. Like think about that. When you're doing that in an off year, off an injury, with no all-star around you for the first time really in 10 years, and you look at all the other players that we see up there. Kawhi, he's got the most improved player, and he's got Siakam, and he's got Kyle Lowry as an all-star. Steph, obviously, with the team that he has around him. James Harden with the guys he has around. Even Giannis has an MVP and a ton of veterans. LeBron James, unfortunately, had the worst team and an injury at the same point in time, which opened up the combo.
So who is the best player in the world right now?
At this very second, I think Kawhi Leonard has staked his claim with what he did defensively to Giannis. There's almost no one in the league that can do that and score 30. So right now, to me, Kawhi.
I'm just green. In basketball conversations, I don't talk like that. Like, I talk, who's the best scorer in the world? Who's the best two-way player in the world?
We don't care about what your basketball conversations are. We asked you a damn question. Answer the damn question for the graphics.
I gave you my top three before. I gave it to you 2 weeks ago where I said I had KD, I had Kawhi, then I had LeBron.
In that order. So yes. KD is number one.
That's what I had, yes.
See, I'm with Zach here. I think Kawhi Leonard right now is doing what we've seen LeBron James do for the last 7 years.
But would LeBron James be doing that if he were in the playoffs right now?
That's not what we're talking about.
But that's the question. Who's the best player in the world? So you're saying that's a recency bias because you see Kawhi doing it right now and you don't see LeBron doing it.
I just want to talk about how good Kawhi is.
I'm just helping you answer the question correctly.
Listen, the best player in the world is obviously Kawhi or KD, or it might be Steph, and it could be LeBron.
And let's not forget about the MVP Giannis. And don't forget about the MVP
Giannis is not in there.
And that, my friend,
we're just saying he's
not right now. He's coming.
It's incredible that none of us said the word Harden. I don't think we should have, really.
We got to run the floor. Tell him.
Let's run the floor, because Zach Lowe has got a special edition of Run the Floor. It's a finals edition on why he thinks this will be a close series. It starts with Kawhi Leonard and a very specific offensive weapon. What is it?
That right there, 55% on long twos. Playoff defenses have an answer for everything. So you got to have an answer that they don't have an answer for, and that's that weapon right there.
Kawhi Leonard shooting what many people believe is the worst shot in basketball has suddenly become one of the key offensive components of this series. And then let's talk about Toronto's offense. We know the Warriors are going to throw a bunch of different bodies at Kawhi. Which Raptor teammate is going to have to step up for him?
See, Kyle Lowry just can't have any more of these games where he plays hot potato with the ball. He needs to get aggressive. Every time he has a big man on him, he's got to go into like swagger mode. He's got to bring it every single game as a scorer for them to have a chance.
Look, it has been so questionable for him in his postseason past.
Great in the conference finals. I'm confident he's going to have a good series.
Let's see what he's able to do. Again, the finals will begin tonight. The Warriors appearing in their 5th straight NBA finals, and everyone knows their strength on offense is how they got here, but why their offense is so successful is more complex. The creativity using pick and rolls has been the key, and let's take a look at a big number, or a few of them. Actually, the Warriors had their way using on-ball screens against Portland in the Western Conference Finals. They ran 116 direct picks, only 13 of which use the Blazers, and the Blazers use the defensive switch. So these are a lot of words and a lot of numbers that sometimes I worry fans don't fully understand. But Jay Williams is here to solve that problem. Give us a look at what we're talking about.
Well, Toronto switches 3 times more than what Portland did. But to understand how Portland scored here, look at the action that you're going to see this team run. Draymond's going to slip the screen, actually come to the weak side here. You're going to see Kevon Looney come up to set the screen in. I want you to watch Zach Collins in this particular situation here. His reaction time is very late, okay? So you're seeing action, Zach Collins late, and also Rodney Hood going over the top of the screen. You're not going to see Toronto do that. And as you watch it, you're going to see here as the play fans out, look at the hands of Zach Collins, down, right? Not up. Stephen Curry, you allow him to see the rim like that? Buckets, right? Now, as we watch with Toronto, here's the beautiful thing about Toronto. Let's focus. I'm going to go back just a little bit, Greeny. Beautiful thing about Toronto. Serge, Kawhi, Pascal Siakam, all these guys. 7'3" wingspan. Sorry.
Yeah.
7'3" wingspan, okay?
Yeah.
So look at the versatility defensively of the pieces here. One switch, right? Then the ball comes up again. Now, look, that was beautiful. We just missed it by 1 second. Switch, boom. You're going to see hands up by Pascal Siakam, 7'3" wingspan, okay? As the play comes again, another switch. Pascal Siakam right there, blitzes the switch, doesn't allow him to have any space to dance or dribble the ball for Tobias Harris. Comes up again. Now, Tobias Harris is able to get into the lane. He gets into the lane, kicks it out again. Danny Green, once again, bigger defender, wingspan to recover, gets out there. I don't know what kind of hell Mike Scott, what kind of shot that was, but still, as the play develops, they even get the offensive rebound. Kyle Lowry still down there, digs for the ball. Those versatility of pieces, their ability to switch, is what's going to be the difference in this ball game, because you're not going to have 2 bigs trying to guard out, and you're not going to go over screens. They're going to switch everything.
They have a lot of really good defenders. RJ, jump in here. I can see you want to make a comment here. What are your thoughts on what Jay was just describing for us?
All of that ball movement is great. The issue is the Golden State Warriors have 2 people that can dance and pop up shots like no one else in the NBA can. And so, yes, the length will help. Yes, the switching will help. And just from experience, there is still something that needs to be done to their body, right? Like you showed all this length, hands up, all the different things that can happen there, but you're still going against a very different monster in the Golden State Warriors shooting, and the Golden State movement will be far better than Toronto has seen. I think it's going to be a great defensive battle versus the best offensive team.
All I'm saying is that Portland's defense is horrific. And we saw Terry Stotts multiple times, Enes Kanter would sit down at the bottom of the free throw line. And when they're bigs, when you play 2 bigs, when you come up, your hands are down, they can shoot. That's not going to be the way Toronto plays.
And that's all in the half court, and that's obviously significant. And I think the key for Toronto is to keep this a half court series, right? Because you let Golden State get out and running, and they're shooting threes.
Good job.
Don't
get off me.
Good job.
That was a good job. That was a good job. That was good drafting.
You're the worst. The Women's College World Series starts today in Oklahoma City, and we've got the first 2 games, noon and 2:30 Eastern. Got Arizona, Washington, then Minnesota and UCLA. You can always watch them streaming live on the ESPN app from anywhere. And we hope you will get up with us tomorrow morning. An historic night for Kawhi and the Raptors, their first ever NBA Finals in Canada. Jalen will be along to break down all the action, plus the latest on KD's status for Game 2 and beyond. And this will be great. Juwan Howard live on our show. And we hope that Richard Jefferson will be wearing shoes that are that kind of spectacular.
Space boots. See, right? These are beautiful. These are beautiful. Whatever you need.
What is that, velvet?
I can rent some swag for you. Let me know.